Hi there, welcome to Self Advocates University. Today we are talking about roommates. So as many of you know, there is a new sheriff in town by the name of HCBS. HCBS stands for Home and Community-Based Services. In recent years, the federal government has set up some new rules and standards for agencies like Search that use Medicaid funding to run their services. And basically, if you get Medicaid money, you gotta follow the new rules. And one of these new rules is that you have the right to choose your own roommate. And also, if we have any restrictions or limitations on that, we outline it in your residential lease agreement. So, here's exactly what your Search lease says about choosing a roommate when you live in one of our homes. If you share your room with another person, we offer you a choice of roommates within the limits of openings in our homes and the desires of the individual you seek to live with. So, this means that you may want a certain person to be your roommate. They may be perfectly happy with their current roommate, and maybe they don't want to switch at this time. We just have to find you someone else to be your roommate. Or maybe you're desperate to be your friend's housemate, but there are no current openings in that house. But maybe that'll happen later on, but for now, we have to just follow where the openings are. But listen, Search honestly wants you to be as happy as you can be in your home. So we will do our best to find you somewhere you are very comfortable calling home. But look, let's be honest here. The long-term goal for most of you living in a SILA, and more specifically, people living in a Search SILA, I know that what you want to do is to live more independently. And for many of you, that starts with having your own dang bedroom, right? Look, sadly, the current rates supporting Search's residential program are not quite enough to afford each person their own bedroom. Yet, the good news is that there are a lot of really smart people working very hard in Springfield and in Search to make that a reality someday. So for now, we are going to make a note of what your preferences are regarding your living arrangements so that when the time comes, we can do the right thing by you. So let's get out our worksheets, okay?
Okay, so here is the preferred living arrangements worksheet. You're going to put your name here or have your staff help you put your name in this one. And then the house that you're living in currently. And if you're watching this, maybe you can put the date here. I forgot to put the date on here. So this first one is about the number of people living in your house. Both of these homes have a lot of people in there. There's Full House from the popular 80s, 90s sitcom. And then there's the Brady Bunch. So in these houses, there's a whole bunch of people living in the house. And some people actually prefer that. With a bunch of people, never a dull moment, less expensive cost of living. We can share our stuff. So if living in a, kind of how you are, a lot of you are right now, maybe there's 8 people, 8 guys living in your house, 7 ladies living in your house. If you kind of like it that way, if you like the big familial feeling, go ahead and put a check in the box. If that's your preference, if that's what you would prefer, if you got to choose from any living situation, you would choose a house with a bunch of people in it. Or maybe you're like, you know what? That's too noisy. That's too crowded, too much drama. I'd like to have maybe just a roommate, like Laverne and Shirley. Those two lived together and it was just them. Or Joey and Chandler. They shared an apartment and it was just Joey and Chandler sharing the lease. So with just a roommate or two, it's a little more expensive to cover costs, but there's much less drama that way. So check the yellow box if you'd like to live in a house with less people someday. Or maybe you'd like to live home alone, just you in your home. Home alone, enough said, misspelled. So check the green box if you would like to live alone someday. No roommates, no one else to take out the trash, no one to share the remotes with. Go ahead and put a check in there. Optional question. Until I am able to have a room to myself, the person I am most interested in having as my roommate is. Now, this question is just if you don't have to fill this one out, but if there's somebody, if you guys have talked about it, like a friend, and you guys both think it would be a great idea to live, to be roommates someday here at Search, feel free to put that name there. Or maybe you love your roommate now as it is, and you're like, I want to keep my roommate. Don't ever make me share a room with anybody else. I like my roommate now. You can also write that. Put your roommate's name down. Okay, and this one's just about roommates. Like, let's say you are still living in a Search house. So if you are still living in a Search house, would you prefer to have a roommate in your house, in your room, I mean? Kind of how you do now. I like having a roommate. It's nice to have someone to talk to at the end of the day. So check this red box if you prefer sharing your room with a friend. Or maybe you're a lone wolf and you prefer having your own room. So you prefer, it's just you know, only you in your room at a Search house. No roommate. I would prefer a room of my own. I need my space. So check this blue box if you would prefer your own room. And then this part's important, guys. Whoever's filling out this paper, even if you are helping a person fill out the paper who is nonverbal, I need every person to sign their name however they can. If it's a scribble, if that's their signature, fine, let them scribble. Okay. If they put their initials, please have them put their initials. However a person can sign, please have them sign it. So that's it. Can you please have people fill these out and then send them to Jennifer at Kensington? Thank you so much for participating, and I'll see you next time in Self Advocates University.